My testimony is previous to getting into real estate, I worked at the bank and I was kind of living paycheck to paycheck, never really had enough, but I was faithful with my tithes and my offerings. There was an opportunity for me to go into real estate. Going to real estate would be a commission-only job. I wouldn't get a salary, I wouldn't have any benefits. So it was a little scary for me. So I prayed all week and I didn't hear anything from God day after day. I just prayed all that week. And then I went to church on Sunday that week. And I didn't tell anybody I was thinking about switching careers. And I waited for Pastor Lau to come over to pray for me. And when he got to me, he laid his hands and he said, God says he has an open door for you. You need to walk through it. And I said, wow, okay, that's confirmation for me to take that jump and go into real estate. So I quit my job, didn't have any savings saved up, and went straight into real estate. So the first 2 weeks of going into real estate, I was learning business and I was trying to find clients. I didn't get my first sale yet. And I got a check in the mail from my previous job for 2 weeks full of pay. And I looked at the check and I knew that I had quit back on March 15th. So I called up my company and I said, hey, this is strange. I got a check in the mail. I quit back on March 15th and they pulled me up and looked me up in the computer and they said, no, that's correct. Those are your hours. You deserve that check and you can go ahead and cash it. And I didn't believe it. And so I just said, okay, well, what's your name? Like, I'm gonna make sure I document this call so that when I go cash a check, I won't get in trouble. So I deposited the check. And it was a little bit hesitant. I didn't spend it right away and just left it in the bank. And 2 more weeks passed and I still hadn't sold my first home. And another check shows up in the mail. And then now it's a check saying that they're paying me for April, even though I quit back in March. And so I called them again and I said, hey, something's wrong. Like, I quit back in March and this paycheck says you're paying me for April. It doesn't make any sense. And they pulled me up and they said, no, that's correct. That check belongs to you. That's paying you for the hours and you can go ahead and cash it. And I double checked and triple checked and asked them to check with their managers and everything. And they said, no, that's correct. So I cashed the check again. And then finally, right after that, I sold my first house and the check stopped. And so I know that God supported me and carried me through. If I didn't have that, I think I would have been too scared and went back to my old job or maybe quit when it got too hard. But it was really a blessing. Obviously, God provided for me and I had to put my full faith and trust in Him.